Hello, everybody. We're now going to show off our October pickups. It was another fruitful month. I think I say that every month, so every month's fruitful.
You need to switch up your vocabulary, babe. It's just not.
But it is. It's another month that or bared like from Gears of War. Anyway, it bore many fruits, and those fruits being video games and video game stuff.
Yes.
So. It was a good month for some gifts. We got some nice gifts from some caring friends.
Supposedly, we have really awesome friends that gave us
Who
stuff.
Knew?
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see those. And it was a good month for shooters. It was a good month for Atlus titles. It was a good month for PS1 games. So some of the things that you know by now, if you've been watching our pickup videos, that we tend to look for was a good month.
I mean, also this month we got to go to Albany, see our friend
Oleg, which you'll see in our
previous
road trip
video. Yeah.
Actually,
upcoming video.
Yeah. And then I had to go out of town a couple times for work, and while I was there, I had to continue the hunt. So, found some good things out of town.
I'm proud of him.
Yes, we work together to find games, even when we're not in our hometown. But so yeah, it was a good month. So stay tuned and enjoy the fruits. This month had big Nintendo release for us, but actually 2 games came out on that day, and one we kind of fell for, like probably the day or 2 before we saw a video. We're like, crap, now we really want that. So I'll start with that title, actually. The game is Fantasy Life for Nintendo 3DS, and it is an RPG. I want to say life simulator, but it's not like a Sims type game or anything like that. A little bit of Animal Crossing type feel, but it doesn't require that everyday check-in kind of thing that like an Animal Crossing has. It's in my 3DS, so you won't see the card here. But
the thing I know you absolutely love about this game is the towns.
Yeah, it's got like
are the towns.
There's a couple good towns that have like tons of characters with great dialogue. Like every little character in this has some funny stuff they said. It's so good.
About games, I'm right there with you. Is towns and going up to each individual person and talking to them, and they might say something stupid like blah, or I don't know.
Like blah.
Like blah. I don't know. Or sometimes, I mean, I haven't played this yet, but sometimes they'll have like a mission for you or a quest or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of missions. So if you like doing not just fetch, there's not just fetch quests, but there's like creative quests that involve basically what this game has is you choose a life, and it's basically like a job class. So like if you played any Final Fantasies or Bravely Default, they have a job system in their battle system. This takes that job system out of the battles and makes it where like if you chose an angler, you can like go fishing, and there's a lot of spots. Like I'm just a paladin to start, which is like your typical warrior, and I see fish in ponds. I'm like, oh, if I was an angler class, I could get that. And I see resources that you can mine, and there's trees in every area that you can cut down if you're a woodcutter. So all these other jobs, you could basically, similar to those other games, play as a job for a while, unlock some of their skills, and then you can switch jobs or lives in this case. And as one life, you can have the abilities you learn from the other life, so you can start to really unlock a ton of stuff and do a lot more quests. And it's got a lot of intricacies. It's funny. It's like surface layer, it's kind of simplistic when you're playing it, but then the more you play it, you realize like this really is a deep game. It's got a lot of content. So very good, charming art style, good music by Nobuo Uematsu, which it's not as good as like a Final Fantasy soundtrack he's done in the past, but there are some tracks on here that I'm like, oh yeah, that's classic. And it's made by Level 5, who make the Dark Cloud games, Ni no Kuni. Professor Layton currently is the series that they're working on, but it's good to see another good. And it's just, we saw a review for the day before it came out, and we were like, wow, that looks really good.
Yeah, I had one coworker at GameStop mention it to me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then I finally saw a video of it. I was like, aw, I gotta have that.
We both were kind of like, wow, that might be one we want to actually get right away.
Yeah.
I've been playing it, and I've been playing it since, and it's really, really fun. And we got this, though.
While you've been playing that,
yes,
that same day,
the thing we originally were trying to get that day.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for this game a long time. It feels like a long time anyway. I'm sure others will agree. Bayonetta 2. Loved the first game. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorite games.
Of last gen,
yeah, definitely of last gen. This is really just more of that. There hasn't been anything like different really about it. I mean, it's a continuation of the weird story that kind of went on in the first one, which, like I've said before, I still don't really know what's going on. It's a very kind of weird story with like the Umbra witches and the eyes of the world and some, I don't know. Anyway.
Angels, demons, and Bayonetta.
Yeah, and lots of ass. Like, Bayonetta's showing off. She's
super sexy and confident.
She's getting naked all the time. She's crazy. I love her. But anyway, it's just more of that.
But
and I'm not disappointed.
If you've never played the first one, look what they did. They included the first one. So
yes, this is very cool.
And physical.
Yes. The disc is actually in our Wii U because I'm playing it right now. But yeah, that's very, very cool that they included this so you could just play one right after the other. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I mean, I love Bayonetta, Cereza, whatever you want to call her. But she's just such an awesome, strong female character. She kicks so much ass. Like, she's my inner spirit animal, I think. Like, if I could be any video game character, it would be her. Love her. So sassy, I could go on about. I have a girl crush on her. I'm not gonna lie.
She did since the first one. And it's great because Nintendo funded this game to keep it alive because the first one is critically one of the best or highest reviewed
but it didn't get a
hack
lot
and
of
slash games, but it still didn't sell what
you
know they wanted to, and so we're very lucky that this sequel was made.
And most people I know that played the first one like love it. Like I never really met too many people that were like, I don't really like it.
Some
like
people
they
get
either
turned
really
off by
love
her
it or they're just
sexuality,
like
I think, but other than that
they haven't played it at all because they think like, oh, it's just gonna be her running around naked and shooting things and kicking things, and you know, there's so much more to it than that. It's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's cool. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy that it's out because I know it was announced way early on, and we know a lot of people who purchased the Wii U right away because they knew they wanted.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like one of the reasons I wanted a Wii U was for this game.
Yep.
So yeah.
And so far, it's living up to the hype. I mean, it is. Watching you play it is so smooth. It runs at like 60 frames per second, no hiccups. There's not a single jaggy edge on it. It's just smooth. The graphics are amazing. There's so much going on, even in the background. Like it was good watching her play because I was able to really pay attention to the details and like they put so much into this.
Yeah, and I almost get distracted. Like I'm fighting enemies, and like the game starts off, boom, right away. You're fighting enemies, and you're like up in the sky, like on pieces of falling crap and. Not literally crap, but just, building pieces and stuff, and you're fighting, like, more of those, like, demon angels, I don't know, they have so many weird names, but, and there's stuff going on in the background, it's awesome, it's so awesome, like, there's just so much going on.
It's a technical showpiece for the Wii U. Wii U has a lot more, like, I feel like this looks better than the first one that was on last gen, even though, surface value, you might think, oh, it looks like it would be on 360 or PS3, but I'm like, I don't know, it's really pushing a lot of stuff at a smooth frame rate, so it's a looker.
Yeah, so if you played the first one, definitely play this as well. It's very, very worth it.
And if you haven't, and you have a Wii U, get both in one package.
Yeah, so...
Traveling, on the way back home, I was on the New York State Thruway, and there was a place on my GPS that was right off the Thruway in the town of Geneva, which is only like an hour from Syracuse, and it was called Good Game, video games or something like that. So I was like, Good Game, I never knew that was there. That's not too far from where I live. I don't know why I've never been there before. So I decided to take a jaunt on the way home, and it was only like 15 minutes off the path. Went there, and they were really nice guys. They had really good prices. I got talking to the co-owner there, and he was very friendly, and it was just a cool little store. I mean, some of their more retro games they don't really have there because they sell, they don't get a ton of people there. They're in Geneva, so they sell some of their like more collectible like Mega Mans and stuff like on their eBay store, but they still had some in there, and then they have a good amount of games from like PS2, GameCube, and then upward to today. And I saw like PS4 games and stuff there. And he specifically told me that he doesn't pay out as much when he buys games in, but he does that to keep the prices down. So I definitely saw a lot of games there that were cheaper than you see anywhere else. And one of those is one that Megan and I have been looking for a long time. And it was a used copy from GameStop before that, so it has a lot of GameStop sticker residue I had to get off. But it was cheaper than you can get at GameStop, even used, even with Megan's discount. So I was like, you know what? Finally, we've been looking for this for a while. And that's South Park: The Stick of Truth.
I've been wanting to play that.
I'm sure a lot of you know about this game already because it was very hyped up, and then it reviewed well when it came out. But it's a RPG made by Obsidian, who makes a lot of good sequel RPGs. They did Fallout New Vegas. They did Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. So they do like the sequels to these RPGs that people are really into, and they usually are a little buggier, but they add so much cool stuff beyond the original formula. And they're a really cool company. And this, from what I heard, is a very polished game, so it doesn't have the bugs that some of their sequel games that they made.
I've heard nothing bad about this game.
Yeah. This just seems like it's, if you like South Park and you like RPGs, this is like the perfect blend. And the humor, just from what I've seen, it looks so funny.
Well, look at the back too. Like their catchphrase on here is an epic quest to become cool.
So very happy to get this so cheap.
I know it's gonna have a lot of that humor.
It's gonna be really fun.
I love South Park, so.
And the art style is the show. Like it is like the first South Park game that is like 100% just exactly how the show looks. So can't wait to try that out. We've been looking for that for a while.
That's the kind of game like I look forward to play now that it's like starting to get cold. You know, like just
up for the winter. And
play a
nice RPG. That's funny like that.
Yeah, I need something like that to kind of cheer me up in the wintertime. Next thing that I have to show now. I've heard mixed things on this. You don't see this game very often.
Very uncommon.
So yes, it's very uncommon. There's a couple reasons I want it. The fact that it was uncommon. 3DS game. Love collecting for the DS, 3DS. Third reason, I'm hoping this plays very closely, or at least somewhat similar to how it played when I was a child. And that game is Oregon Trail. I absolutely loved the old one on
so many of us grew up playing it.
I think
Apple II.
Apple II, yeah. All I remember, we used to have like computer class when I was like in elementary school, and we'd all go down to the library and sit there on the computer, and we're supposed to do like typing lessons or some crap like that. I think most of us played Oregon Trail, and I have so many good memories of playing that game. I sucked. I think I only made it like all the way maybe 2 or 3 times. Most of the time I got like dysentery.
I think everybody got that at least
drowned in the freaking rivers or canals or whatever, but it's such a classic game. And when I heard that they had done one for 3DS and for Wii, I was like, okay, I gotta get on that, but I haven't heard like the greatest reviews on these.
It's apparently not the best game, but it's cheap. The problem is, it's very uncommon. This was the only one in the area in probably like 500 miles.
Yeah, and we were looking for a while. The ones that we did saw usually just had the cart, but I mean this is complete with the cart with the tiny little manual. So I'm happy to have this, and I definitely want to try this out soon. This is the 40th anniversary edition.
They have it also for the Wii. That's just as rare for the Wii. I think I saw a new copy of it at one of the Game Craze stores in Rochester when I was traveling, but it was new, so it was overpriced. But you can find a used copy of either version at a GameStop, and you can get an uncommon game that might bring back some nostalgic feelings.
I'm really excited to play this. Like, I don't know, like I can't help but smile when I think of Oregon Trail. Can't help but smile when I think of the plague and dysentery. Yeah.
It makes you smile. So, I mentioned earlier, and you probably have seen some of the quicker shots of a lot of Atlus titles this month, some ones that we've been looking for a while. And then another one I actually got, they had a couple of used copies of it at one of the stores I was at, and then they had a new copy for only a couple bucks more, and I was like, oh, sweet. And even though it was new, it must have been dropped or something because there's a little crack on the case, but I can find another brand new jewel case, and other than that, the game's new. And the game is called Maken X, or Maken X, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's the only American published Atlus game for the Dreamcast, so I wanted it for a while. It's a first-person, not shooter, but like a sword fighting game. And see, there's the thing coming off. But it has really cool artwork. Actually, if you look at the character artwork. It looks very similar to the Shin Megami Tensei, especially like the PS2 era ones of those, the way their character designs were. So you can tell it's more than just being published by Atlus. There's some of the same. I'm guaranteed there's some of the same artists and stuff that worked on it. Looks really cool. Looks like it's got a really wacky story and stuff. But I haven't had a chance to play it yet. But 60 frames per second gameplay. Can't wait to give it a shot. And another great addition to the Atlus collection.
Yeah, very sweet. Now the next thing I have certainly isn't rare by any means. But reason I want to mention is because it's complete in box. Dr. Mario for the NES.
Yep.
So got this from our friend.
We actually won this.
But we won this. We were at a Halloween party.
Which you hopefully have seen some
yes.
clips from.
And there was a costume contest. There was trivia. We won a couple prizes, and this was one of the prizes that we won. I got first place in that costume contest. Super proud of it for my Ash Ketchum costume. So,
awesome.
That and we got third place in the trivia. So
yeah, we were able to get a couple prizes.
We snagged a couple prizes.
Always nice to get a complete. It actually does have the foam and the manual and the Nintendo insert. So
yeah.
Or dust cover. So it's always good to get a complete NES game.
Yeah.
And we already had a couple copies of Dr. Mario, just because I think a lot of people had that game. It was common.
Yeah, it's very
but for
common,
free. And a nice prize to win. Have that.
Good condition. So yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Rochester, there was a store. I was driving actually I was getting like breakfast or something, and I all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye I saw a sign that said "Game On Video Games and Sports Memorabilia," and I was like, "What?" I didn't ever heard of this place, and I'm out of town, so I saw it was open, so I'm like, "Oh, let me turn around before I go grab breakfast." So I made a U-turn and pulled into the parking lot, and it was a mostly sports memorabilia store. There's a lot of like baseball cards, signed baseball bats, balls, gloves, a lot of baseball stuff I saw. But there was other stuff, placards and stuff and shirts. So it was pretty cool. But the back wall had games, and they had like one glass case, and there was some good stuff in there. Some things that like sure I wanted, but they weren't overpriced. They were just the price I could get anywhere. So I didn't really look at them. There was one NES game that I've been looking for a while called Vice Project Doom, and I was like, oh, let's see how much he has here, and it was $19. I was like, that seemed a little high for me. I know I can find it cheaper somewhere, so held off on that. And then I got another game, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but it will be in this video. And I saw another game while I was there, and I was like, that looks kind of cool, and I took it down, and I looked at it, and I was like, God, that does look like it be right up my alley, but I've never played it, so I'll wait. And so I went back, had breakfast, did some work, and then I had some free time, so I looked up a video review on my phone, and this game looked awesome, so I went right back and got it. So it's called Philosoma, or Philosoma, I don't know how to pronounce these stupid names, but it's a long box PS1 game, so either launch or launch window, very early PS1 game, and it's a shoot 'em up. But what looked really cool to me is that it changes up the camera angle. So it'll be like a horizontally scrolling shooter at one point. It'll be it's horizontal but kind of isometric angle, so everything's like the 3D looks really cool and stuff. And then it has a vertically scrolling like top view part. Then there's even like a Star Fox style behind the ship view, and then in front of the ship view when you have a rear firing cannon and things are like zooming in and out of the screen coming at you and stuff. So it looks really creative, and I love when there's like sprite scaling like that. So it's a mix of polygons and sprites, and it like just works well to make this effect of stuff coming in and out of the foreground, and the variety in it looked fantastic. And I saw it was going for a lot more, not a lot more, but more on probably eBay. I saw one that was like $10 more than what I got it for, so I was like, okay, this is probably the cheapest I'll ever find it for, and I'm like, I definitely want to go back and get it. So, very cool game. I can't wait to go through the whole thing. It just looked, like, as soon as I saw what it looked like, I'm like, this looks like my kind of game. It's fantastic. So, look forward to checking that out, and very glad to have found that at a cool, unique store that I never would have heard about.
Cool. Last thing I have here is it's not rare by any means. You see this game a lot, and we actually don't really have the means to play it because it includes using the robot
Yep.
accessory.
Yep.
There we go. And that's Gyromite. So got this at a pawn store or Pawn King near our house for $5. It's in decent
It's
condition.
got some sticker gunk on it.
It's got some sticker gunk on it. I just took some off right
Took
there.
them off right
A little bit of icky right there. But what the reason I got this is because it's a 5-screw variant of that cart. So it doesn't have the little
Tabs at the
tabby
top.
things at the top. And cool history lesson. I guess like Nintendo decided, hey, it would be cheaper if we got rid of these and put the little tabby things.
Yeah, they went from a
cut
5-screw to a 3-screw.
So that's pretty cool.
Plus,
and
I think another reason with the 5-screw variants is early on in the NES lifespan they needed to get more because it was selling so well early on that they wanted to get more carts over here, and so a lot of these games. Now we haven't opened this up to find out or not, but a lot of these games were actually Famicom games from Japan, and they put a converter inside, and they're usually in these 5-screw variants to like get just like a quicker way to bring more copies over here. So we figured we don't have the game anyway, and we want to get it for our cart collection anyway.
I haven't decided if I want to open it up. Like I don't know if I'd actually use the converter.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't think I'd have any need.
It'd be kind of
but
cool if I knew for sure.
It's just cool though to found it. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know if
it feels a little like there's a little extra thing in there, but like I said, we didn't have it anyway, so we thought, hey, a 5-screw, let's pick up the 5-screw one. So may or may not have it. The mystery's there, but
yeah, it's just cool though, Yep. And there's your history lesson for the day.
Yeah, we still need to get more history on it ourselves, but just knowing that much about it, we saw and we're like, yeah, let's pick it up at the moment. Earlier that we got some gifts from some very caring friends.
Yes.
And our first one we got was from one of Megan's old coworkers and a good friend of ours. His name's Dave, and he wrote me out of the blue, and he said he found some stuff that he was to clean up his place and found some game related stuff that he didn't want to go through the effort of like selling and stuff. He just knew that like somebody like us who likes to collect might really appreciate it, and we were like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. So I was out of town, and Megan went and picked up some of the stuff, so we'll go over it one by one here. Got some display stuff
stick
first.
With this stuff. First,
Little Big Planet 2 display
Planet.
thing.
These are the little bookends, which I don't think we really used for bookends yet. We just kind of had them
cool
on display.
things,
but little Sackboy, he's so cute.
Yep.
I love him.
So it's from Little Big Planet 2 when it came out. So you might have seen this. I think in our game room tour we already had it like set on the shelf, so you probably saw some of this. But wanted to talk about it because it was really very much appreciated, Dave. And it was just cool to have. We love Little Big Planet, and as you can tell, Megan really loves Sackboy. So
he is, dude. He's so adorable. Like, look at him. How could you hate that face?
He's
like.
So cute. Very happy character, and just a cool thing to have. So that was really cool. A couple display things that hey, we love more of that cool stuff for the game room. So that was cool.
Next set of things he gave us. He had a couple Super Nintendo cards
Super Nintendo games
laying around that we actually didn't have any of these. First one was Arrow the Acrobat.
Arrow the Acrobat.
Arrow the Acrobat.
Yep.
I don't really know a whole lot.
I played it
about
on the
this game,
Genesis.
so.
It's back when like games like Sonic and Mario were really popular. They just, so many platformers were coming out. And Arrow the Acrobat was just one of those characters that I think he had 2 games, but it's made by Sunsoft, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's a good game, so it's definitely much appreciated.
Yeah. Next is NCAA basketball.
Yep. So
never really play sports games.
I think I've seen this at every thrift store and like flea market ever. It's very common. But what I don't like about this game is, I appreciate getting it for free, but if you look at it from far away, the way it's got the font up here in the corner, and it's like big and bright and yellow. It kind of, from far away on first glance, looks like Super Metroid's cart, which has Super Metroid in the corner, and then down here has like, you know, Samus and Ridley and everything. So obviously that's not what it is, but I tend to see that, and I'm looking for a box for Super Metroid, so I've seen this box before from far away, and I quickly run over and I see, oh, it's NCAA basketball. So disappointing, but good to have as a free addition to our collection.
Yes.
And then, speaking of platformer characters of the 16-bit era, when Sonic and Mario were at their heyday, this is probably the best one.
I love the dramatic intro there.
It's pure sarcastic boom in my voice. So,
but nevertheless, I'm still very happy to have this in our collection. Bubsy.
Yep. And actually, to be fair, I don't hate the first two Bubsy games. Bubsy 3D is like pretty bad, just like everybody knows. But I don't mind having them in the collection. I mean, I played Bubsy on Sega when I had Sega Channel.
Yeah, this is probably definitely like the best of.
Yeah, I'd say the first one was probably just, you know, it was just a copycat game, but it was not bad. So, good to have that in the collection now.
We got those.
Yep.
Next couple of things that we got.
Just a little.
This is
lanyard.
Cool. This is a lanyard, an Xbox 360 lanyard that had the Rock Band 2 thingy on it.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool because I like lanyards. I think they're a lot of fun. I
Definitely.
like collecting them. So there's that.
And then we have this was a really cool thing he had, and we have a lot of stuff related to this game, not just the games themselves, but our display and stuff over there. And it's a Banjo-Kazooie promotional VHS tape. So you see these every once in a while at like retro game stores, and so I'm always like, oh yeah, that's cool. And it was just a video they put together to promote the game before it came out, before, you know, we got online videos and DVDs with preview discs, demo discs and stuff. It was a way it says, I don't know if it was mailed out or maybe it came with Nintendo Powers or something. I'm not really sure how this was distributed. Maybe through some stores, got free copies and stuff. But
it's so cool though.
Banjo-Kazooie is my favorite 3D adventure platformer ever.
Too.
So anything related to it, I love to have in the collection. So
yeah.
That was really cool. Dave really appreciated it too.
Very, very cool.
And lastly, from Dave, the thing he actually wrote me about initially and was like, would you have interest in this? And I was like, definitely, because I love this game. I got a hardcover Dark Souls guide, which is really cool. It's got
immaculate condition.
Great condition, great artwork, and, you know, I'm assuming good strategies, even though I played through most of this without a guide. Still haven't finished the final fight in it, so maybe I can use this guide to help me through it. So, very good. Love that game. Dark Souls is really good, and even though it's difficult, it's just one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever played, especially last generation. It was just like, wow, one of the strongest memories for me. And this has great pictures, great artwork, and a lot of details. So I think it's gonna be a really good strategy guide to have. Even though I don't use them all the time, I was like, when he mentioned this, and I was like, yeah. And look at that.
To the experience.
Just looks so cool. Those hardcover guides are awesome. I wish they were cheaper. Like every time a game comes out, I see it, I'm like, oh, I just want that guide, even if I don't use it. But they're kind of expensive, so awesome to get this for free. So thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our last thing to talk about. So, ready?
Yep.
Our very last gift that we got this from our friend Pat Milligan. He has River City Retro as an online store. You can get lots of games from him, and he really likes to help out collectors. So if there's a game you're looking for and he has it, you know, he will put you on a list and let you know.
Yes, and hit him up on Facebook. He has a Facebook page now for River City Retro. He's also going to be at Retro Game Con this weekend, coming up November 8th.
And we may have seen a sneak peek of some of the stuff he has.
He's going to have
let's just say
a lot of stuff at fantastic prices, so definitely show this guy some love. He's an incredible seller, incredible human being. I could go on and on, but he's a good friend of ours as well.
This was something he knew we were looking for. He's been to our house before, and he saw our collection and knows we are big Zelda fans. And I'm surprised,
just a little bit.
surprised that we didn't have this yet, but extremely thankful that he just was kind enough to get this for us.
This was a very unexpected gift.
He just out of the blue gifted us with this, and so happy to have it. And that is the collector's edition of Ocarina of Time, which is my favorite Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Even though I love so many in the series, this one stuck with me so much. And it has the gold cartridge. It has all the inserts, so it has the manual, as well as these other two, the Nintendo Power and another one.
Cartridge.
So,
Box.
and the cart is, or the box and cart and everything are in great condition. There's a little crease up here, but I mean, I blame that more on Nintendo making cardboard boxes for so long for their games. You know, they're hard to keep, even if you are taking good care of them. But that was such a great gift, and now it's like, it just feels like, another great addition to our
very, very
our Zelda collection, and a great game. Love this game so much, and it is kind of funny though. We were talking about this with Pat, how really the only thing they did was just like glue on a shiny special edition thing on the front of a regular box, which I was kind of like, but it does look nice. And being the Zelda fans we are, I don't care how they assemble it. Just
I want to get like one of those nice plastic
we'll put it in a protective case to
protector thing.
Keep it nice.
But just, I'm really happy to have this. So thank you again, Pat, for this very kind, thoughtful, unexpected gift. So you brought a smile to our face. So
it's still going on to this day. So that was our October pickups video. I hope you liked some stuff you saw. Please comment. If there's anything else you saw there that you want to discuss about more. We've mentioned this the past couple videos, and we're going to keep mentioning it.
Yes.
But friend us on Facebook. We have a page on Facebook, Sprite Lovers, but if you send a friend request to Sprite Lovers Video Games, we can interact with you a lot better than we cannot through a page. And we can direct message you guys, have chats. We post stuff on there even in between our videos. So definitely, we'd love to talk about more of the stuff that we showed. So, and any questions and
all that good
tips,
stuff. Are you
stuff.
okay over there? You got hiccups?
I got something coming
You got something. Oh boy. Anyway, last plug, because it's probably going to be our last video before November 8th. Retro Game Con. It's coming up very quickly. Be there. It's only $5. It's $5, and it's going to be awesome. Angry Video Gamers is going to be there. He's going to be showing his movie,
and he's going to be watching it with everybody and doing a Q&A panel afterwards.
We're doing a panel. There's going to be cosplay. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be kick-ass music playing in the background. There's going to be meeting all these awesome people. It's just going to be too awesome, and I'm very excited to talk about it if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, it's really cool now that it's upon us, like things that are just getting confirmed and stuff. James Rolfe just posted about it on Cinemassacre.com, letting people know he's going to be there. So it's like, wow, it's really happening. It's finally here. So we've been talking about it for a while. We hope to meet somebody that we've been talking to on YouTube there.
Absolutely.
And hopefully people can carpool and travel together to make it a reality and make it fun.
Guys. It's going to be so much fun. Our next video will probably be of Retro Game Con, so hopefully you'll be there.
And if you can't make it for some reason, which I'm not going to accept any excuses, but if you can't, we are having our panel filmed, so you'll be able to see our panel, and like Megan said, you'll see our video about the con in general. So stay tuned for that.
Then that'll convince you, and then you'll want to go next year.
And then next year we will see you. So,
All right, everyone.
Thanks again, and we will see you after Retro Game Con.